Hello my new YouTube friends. This here is where we store our transmissions, and you guessed it, it's called the transmission shop. Right now we get pretty overloaded and overstock's going pallets in the floor. I'm not crazy about that because we got spaces up top. We just got shaky lift drivers sometimes. And this is how used transmissions are stored. Now, growing up, I've seen junkyards that's got them sitting on the ground outside, covered up with boxes and tarps, and that's how you'd find and buy a used transmission. You know, I've seen a little bit of everything in my salvage career. And this is about as modern as you can get. Now, LKQ, a large corporation owned by Ford and stuff, that's a junkyard conglomerate. Now their buildings where our racks are like 5 levels high, shoot, I've been in buildings where theirs are probably 50 high. I mean, it would severely maim or end you if you fell off the lift getting a transmission down. Well, here's 400 shop, which is a transmission. I'm going to transfer over here to what's called the motor building. And you know what's in the motor building? Motors. Yeah, you're right, boy. I tell you what. And there's every kind of motor you can imagine. 6 cylinders, V8s, I motors. Hey, we even got some H motors. I mean, we got a little bit of everything. About every motor you can imagine, except turbines. Everyone, either we start before we pull them. If you can't pull them, we turn them over, make sure everything turns, because you obviously couldn't get the transmission off if the motor didn't turn over, because you got to get the torque converter bolts. And yeah, so when the dismantler dismantles the stuff, and then I take it over from the buggy, because I stock the car in when it comes in, put that in there. Then when it gets stripped in the building, I get the buggies. The motors I tag, they come over here like this individually, and then the motor building guy, his name is Hater, he takes them and puts them 2 to a pallet, and then locates them on these shelves and changes it in the computer from the location I put on them in the dismantle bay, and then he puts it on one of these R8 S3, which means for R8 slot 3. And so on. There's all kinds of little abbreviations and terminology. There's my extra boxes. I think that's a little 2.5 Ultimate engine, if I remember correctly. That's a 3.7 liter, like you would get in a G37, obviously. Put them in 370Z, G37 coupes. That's a big old V8. That's a Hemi. That there is a Hemi. If you want to know what a modern Hemi looks like, that is a modern Hemi. So, you guys just let me know what you like, what you want to see more of, and what interests you. I mean, these are neat. These are called horizontally opposed. That means the pistons go straight out from each other instead of in a V pattern or straight up in an I pattern. Pretty neat little engine. Volkswagen engine. Yeah, I think so, yeah. We got a little bit of everything. So let me know what you like, and I'll try to post more of in the salvage yard terms. Right over in that building we can take a look at sometime. That's called the wood shop over there. We got more motors and transmissions in that building. This forklift is what we use. It's perfect. It's made for use only on concrete or hard surfaces. You will get stuck if you go off on the gravel. And that's what we pluck these out of here with. That is what you call a rookie. That's where you go in sideways instead of straight on, and it busts the pallets because you got the forks as wide as they'll go, and the wood only goes as wide as it'll go. So that's a rookie mistake. And when they do that, it's hard to get them down, because when you try to pick it up like you normally would, the pallet just falls apart. So we're back over here. I come over here to tag a transmission. So till the next one, thank you for tuning in.